Hey guys, Scott Patton here, and this is my What's Happening on Chickamauga. It's July 20th today, and I've been out, quite a bit this last couple of weeks and stuff, and, the lake's changed some, of course the water temperature's warming up, and the fish have changed some, but the grass is growing, and that's one thing that's helped me as far as on a shallow water bite. Still catch them out deep, and I'll go through both of them. You can come down here, you guys, and fish, deep or shallow, and when I'm talking about deep, fishing the ledges and stuff like that, or you can go up in the river and fish the shallower grass and stuff. If you want to get away from the crowd, there's not near as many people fishing up in the river. I tend to try to do that as much as I can, but when a guy wants a ledge fish, I take him out and we go ledge fishing. The ledges are just really crowded out here most of the time, and usually about pretty much 7 days a week, but that's your call on that. So let's start out shallow. Like I said, the grass has really picked up. We've had some days that we've had some cloud cover and stuff like that, and afternoon showers. We've had this, the summer showers and stuff like that late in the day, but usually I'm not on the water when those hit. We're doing a lot of 4 and 6 hour trips this time of year. We've done a couple 8s, but and those, that rain usually builds up. Builds up later in the day, and that's when we have the storm stuff come through. But if you're out there during that time, it's probably a good bite. I just haven't been out there then. So basically, been out early in the morning, fishing at about noon, 12:30, something like that. I usually start out with 2 different baits shallow, and that's going to be some kind of topwater bait. Of course, bone's always good anywhere, and it's good down here on Chickamauga. I've been throwing that, and early in the morning, you got a couple choices. You can do that, or you can throw the glide bait. It seems like the glide bait has been a little bit more productive, just because unless we got fog or something, that topwater bite or some chop on the water, a little wind, that topwater bite's a lot tougher. So the glide bait's been a little bit better to me, and I'm just an Eco Clutch. Of course, I'm throwing that on my PAL 755. It is, and I'll throw it on a 25-pound test fluorocarbon. But I'm just kind of throwing it over top of the grass, you guys. Covering water with it. Probably in about 4 or 5 foot of water, and I'm just throwing that thing out there, swimming it real slow, and the fish just come up and hitting it. It's almost like, they'll hit that thing versus the topwater bait when it's slick. They'll still hit that glide bait. So that's worked real good. But the main thing that's really kicked in here the last couple of weeks has been the old Wacky rig. And you could probably, or a guy could honestly start out early in the morning with a Wacky rig and throw it and catch fish over top of that grass and stuff. And again, I'm fishing all the backwater stuff, back in the creeks and stuff, up the river from Richland Creek to Watts Bar Dam, any of those areas up there you choose to fish, or some of the creeks you like. I'm throwing different colors. That's watermelon red. It's been good, especially once the sun gets up. I'm dipping that tail in chartreuse. I've been throwing green pumpkin, and there's another color that I've been throwing, this baitfish color. And this might be a Bass Pro Shop worm, but it's smoked with some blue and silver flake in it. That's been real good too. They've been eating it real good, so they've really been feeding on them shad. So a lot of our threadfin, or a lot of our shad that spawn this spring, they're getting big enough this time of year where they really focus on it, because there's such an abundance of them. And I think that's one reason that bait's really been working so good. Just cover water, you guys. I'm not catching a bunch of fish in one spot. I may get 3 or 4 in one area, but I'll just keep moving and keep fishing and covering the water and just stay in the grass. There's not grass everywhere, but there's plenty of grass still to be found up in the river. So that's what I would do if I come down here and not knowing really had time to fish. So hopefully that'll help get you guys some more fish in the boat. So the chatterbait bite and stuff like that's kind of gone away. I really haven't been catching them on it. I don't know if it's just because the conditions have been so slick and clear and sunny that they're not reacting on that bait very well. The glide bait and topwater bite is going to last you a couple hours in the morning. If you get some fog, some days we get some fog, and that make it last a little bit longer. But if you're going to come out here and fish a half day or something like that, you could definitely go up and catch several good quality fish too. Not catching no giants. I mean, I've caught some 4 or 5s, and several, 2 and 3 pound fish in that range. So it's fun fishing, and it's been hot out there, so make sure you take plenty of drink when you go out there. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about ledge fishing. It's pretty basic. A lot of the bait's gone deeper, so the fish are holding closer to the bottom. So where your hair jigs and stuff like that, those fish aren't up in the water column, so you're fishing more closer to the bottom with your baits. I'm using a drop shot. I'm throwing morning dawn, of course. Like I said, I've said several times, it's worked real good. It works good down here. I'm throwing some green pumpkins and stuff. They've been eating those too. But just a little drop shot worm's going to definitely put fish in the boat with you. I use a 3/8 ounce Pro Tungsten drop shot weight. And I guess I'll rig this worm up. But anyways, I sure got one laying here. Sorry about that, guys. Here's one that we cut off one of my guys' rods that we use. This is just a June bug collar worm, but I'm throwing it on a 3/4 ounce wobble head. I like this. This is simple. That's why I like these things. And if that worm is sitting down on the bottom, it makes it, that worm moves. It's got more action and stuff like that. That's why I like those wobble heads, especially if you got current. So that's why I like using them, and they're easy to rig up. Comes with a big hook. This is a 3/4 ounce wobble head. What that is, and that's normally what I throw down here, guys. I throw it on a 17 pound test line. All I'm gonna do is throw a thing out there on them ledges where I see them fish. And I'm going to let it fall all the way to the bottom. And usually I'll just drag it, okay? I don't really hop it. I like dragging it because with that wobble head, it creates its own action, so it makes that worm just move around a little bit more in the water. And again, like I said, if you got current, that's fantastic. But this has probably been the best to go. That and the drop shot's been the best go-to out deep, okay? Now they are pulling water. You get out there early in the morning. I have been able to catch them still on a crankbait. This is the Strike King 6XD. But like I said, this bite is really when they're moving water early in the morning, they'll hit that, and you gotta get out there and cover it. But it's kind of like the shallower bite. The fish are more up in column because they've been feeding at night and stuff. Then those fish, are going to be more active. But once the sun gets up, it's going to make that bait go down. They're going to go down, and they've been up feeding most of the night. But early, you can definitely catch them on a crankbait. Not really been getting that much wind to make much difference. Crankbait bite, even the wind out there on that main lake, it makes a big difference. But we really haven't had that. So if you're going to go deep, I throw that crankbait early, catch what you can, real aggressive fish. After that, you go to your big worm and your drop shot, you guys out there on the ledges and stuff. And again, those fish have, once we get this time of year, those ledge fish have seen so many baits and they get a lot tougher and tougher to catch. The best ledge fishing is always going to be late May into early June, stuff like that, before they've been pounded on so many times. But guys, I hope this will help you out some. Like I said, take plenty of liquids out there with you. It's been hot, that's for sure. It's getting hot out here right now, and it's early in the morning. I got some guide trips this week. Good luck out there, good fishing to you, and we'll see you on the water, guys. Thanks.